Welcome to episode 1 of Scream Girl Squad. Woo!
Too nerdy? Just cut that right out.
Yeah, just nix it. So this is officially the first episode of Scream Girl Squad, not counting the little tester where we reviewed a movie that I can never remember the title to.
It's about a game that is not hide and seek.
Damn it. Truth or Dare.
Hey!
So the good news is we'll be releasing the Truth or Dare episode as a special bonus, but I'm your co-host Caryn.
And I'm Jill.
And thank you for tuning in and listening to us gab on about horror movies and the like.
Welcome to our squad.
Our non-existent fans will be squad members.
Yeah.
Awesome. So one thing we wanted to talk about, this is Jill's idea and I love it, was diving into why we wanted to start this podcast.
Yes.
So I've been wanting to do a podcast for a really long time because, like Jill, I'm addicted to them. I listen to them a lot. So I've been wanting to do one, and I couldn't think of what I wanted to talk about. And then when I was driving to Boise, Idaho, and watching the just nothing scenery of the desert roll past.
What happens when you drive through Idaho?
I had the idea that maybe Jill and I could get together and talk about horror movies. It's really a thinly veiled effort to spend more time with Jill, who I love dearly.
Indeed.
And so I texted her, and I don't think you've ever agreed to one of my ideas so quickly.
Here's the thing with ideas is Caryn and I have been friends since we were 6 years old. Let's just throw that right out there. And our entire lives has been filled with big ideas and grand plans, like making our own horror movie or building a compound connected by water slides that we could all live on together. And we come up with these grand, amazing ideas, and then nothing ever happens.
Well, in fairness, some of those are harder than others.
Oh, for sure. I mean, technically, we could still build a compound. I'm just saying. But she asked to do a podcast, and I was like, I don't even care if this doesn't happen. The planning will be amazing. So, yes, I'm absolutely in. And then Caryn ran with it, and I am fully on board because, again, excuse to spend time with Caryn and talk about scary movies, which I love, and watching scary movies with Caryn, which I also love. So all of these things means absolutely yes, I am on board for this.
Yeah, Michael Scott would call this a win-win-win.
Yes,
so, yeah,
absolutely. The triple W.
Well, thanks for joining me, Jill. I'm really excited about this adventure. I'm also really excited about the art that we commissioned.
Yes.
By an artist named Ivan Chili. I don't know how he did it. We gave him the vaguest, just broadest idea of what we were looking for, and he came back with that.
Like literal perfection.
Yeah.
So
can't love it enough.
I just want it framed and hanging on my wall.
We can do that. He gave it to us in an outrageously high resolution. We can print it out at a pretty decent size.
Yep. I'm going to do that.
Awesome. Well, so tonight we watched a movie that I've been pretty excited about for a while, and it's one of many movies that I found out was coming out because Jill messaged me a link to the preview, which you probably do at least a few times a month. You send me previews to good horror movies. So last year, she sent me the preview for Pet Sematary 2019, and I was jazzed because I love Stephen King. So tonight we finally sat down and watched it.
Here's a rundown of our process here. So we're going to rate the movies, scale of 1 to 5 on how scary it is and then how enjoyable it is. Every episode, we're going to come up with 2 of our favorite snack foods because we are munch mouths, and the only thing we love as much as horror movies are snacks.
Munch mouths.
Yep.
I love it.
There's no other way to describe us, I'm going to be honest with you.
That's true.
We once went to see the X-Files movie and bought so many Airheads that we couldn't even hardly fit them in a bag to sneak them into the movie theater. This is just our life. So
that was at Ghetto 8, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That was the best because it was a kind of crappy little movie theater conveniently situated next to a dollar store.
So yeah, you just load up on dollar store candy and then go to the movie theater. That is also the time we sat behind these amazing old ladies. They had to be in their 80s, and they were also at the X-Files movie talking about how sexy Mulder was. And how amazing the X-Files was. And we were just like, that is us when we are 80 years old. So,
life goals.
Yes, that was a good day. Just saying. So yeah, we love snacks. So we are going to rate every movie, scale of 1 to 5, on our favorite snacks. So,
and that'll be the enjoyment factor.
Yes. So based on this current conversation, I think we should use Airheads today for enjoyment factor.
Not crumble cookies, which we were stuffing into our faces while we were watching the movie.
That's true. We could do crumble cookies. Yeah. Crumble cookies it is.
All right.
And
then another fair warning, we are going to get heavy into spoilers in a minute here, but we'll give you our overall thoughts and opinions so that in case you haven't already seen Pet Sematary, you'll be able to get our general recommendation, turn off the podcast, come back and finish it up with us later once you've had a chance to watch the film. But otherwise, if you've already seen it, or you don't plan to see it, or you're just here because you can't get enough of Jill's sexy ass voice,
hello,
then you can keep listening all the way through to the end. So,
and then the second thing we're going to rate the movie on is scariness factor. We will rate this on a scale of something creepy from the movie because it should be. So tonight, I think we should go on a scale of 1 to 5 zombie children.
Yes. Agreed.
I think that's fair. Yeah. And so we'll change that every week based on the movie. So since we saw Pet Sematary, we are going to use zombie children because there's really nothing else to pick.
So Pet Sematary, for those of you who have never seen the version from the 1980s or read the novel by Stephen King, is a story about a family who's in the midst of a change, which is one of my absolute favorite kind of setups. So this family moves from the big city of Boston to a small town in, I believe, Maine, based on some of the Stephen King little Easter eggs that they dropped in there. So they moved to Maine to kind of get away from the hustle and bustle of the doctor's emergency room life, spend more time with the family, be a little bit closer. And when they move in, they find a really creepy pet cemetery spelled incorrectly behind their house where the locals go and bury their, dead animals. And through the course of the movie, they discover that there's an additional extra cemetery a little bit further in where if you bury things there, they can come back from the dead. But as one of the characters famously says in the movie, sometimes dead is better. So that's kind of the gist of the setup.
I think the beginning one is sometimes they come back wrong, I want to say.
Oh, that was the tagline from the 80s?
Yeah. Or that could be from some other completely different horror movie, but I'm pretty sure that had to do with... Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So, Jill, how did you like the movie?
So on a scale of 1 to 5 crumble cookies, in regards to enjoyableness, I feel like we should mention Crumble Cookies is a local company here in Utah that will deliver fresh, warm cookies to your doorstep. Yes, it is as amazing as it sounds. Just saying. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 5 crumble cookies, I would give it a 4.
Dang, that's a high rating.
I highly enjoyed myself with this movie. So,
awesome. What kept you from giving it a 5?
The ending.
Okay, well, we'll get into that.
We'll get
deep
into
into the spoilers. Yeah. As for myself, I think I would have to go slightly lower. Totally 100% personal preference. I would give it 3 out of 5 crumble cookies. And that's just because for me it was a little bit more of a specific type of gory that I don't care for. I am all aboard with over-the-top horror gore, but this one kind of touched on too many of my real-life medical fears. I'm not comfortable at all with a lot of medical stuff, and this got into the medical stuff. So,
yep. I think that's fair.
But still, very fun movie overall. Really well made. Amazing score.
Absolutely. scale of 1 to 5 demon children, how would you rate it on scariness?
Oh, totally a 4. Easy. Couple good jump scares, tons and tons of tension, and a lot of that was because of the score. Like, right opening shot of the movie, nothing has even happened yet, and the score sets up this incredible mood of something is not right here. It just puts you on edge right away. And then they show you a couple of very unsettling, mysterious things, like a trail of blood and an open front door. That's never good.
Right.
So they set up tons of tension, and then they capitalized on that tension in really clever ways. So I found it good and frightening.
Excellent.
How about you?
I would also go with 4. I mean, we paused in the middle and I was afraid to go to the bathroom by myself. And as we're sitting here, I'm thinking to myself that I have to go home in the dark by myself, and that makes me uncomfortable. So absolutely 4 out of 5 on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the true test of a horror movie, too, is sometimes it's not as scary in the theater or while you're actually watching it, but later it creeps inside your brain and you start thinking about things. So
yes, which is the sign of a good scary movie.
Yeah.
It Follows, for example, did not scare me in the theater. And then afterwards, I was driving on a dark street with trees and started freaking out just because of the music on the radio versus the dark street. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's things will hit you at different times. That's the sign of a good scary movie.
Yeah, they just totally stick with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at the same time that Jill was scared to go to the bathroom, I was getting frightened by the silhouette of a vacuum. So it definitely did its job.
Absolutely.
And the setup of our den where we watch these scary movies, I'm always sat right in front of the open door that looks out into our dining room. And at the end of the dining room, there's a coat rack that has a bunch of sweaters hanging on it. And at least once during every scary movie and several times during this one, out of the corner of my eye, I was convinced there was someone standing there.
Oh, so. Sweaters look like people. That's
all
a real
time.
thing. I cannot sleep with closet doors open for the same reason.
Spoilers. Okay. So now that you've been warned fairly about all the spoilers, let's really get into it.
Yes. This is going to be completely full of spoilers. So if you have ever had any intention of watching this movie and you hate spoilers as much as I do, I don't even want people to tell me if they like a movie or not, then go watch the movie and then come back.
That's only a teensy bit ironic that you agreed to be on a podcast where all we will ever do is tell people if we like a movie or not.
Yeah, but like... they should have already seen it or they don't care.
Okay.
Just saying.
They do get to choose.
Exactly.
The power is in your hands, people. You get to decide.
Yes.
Yes.
My biggest pet peeve is when people are like, oh my gosh, have you watched this? I cried so hard.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Now I know I'm going to be emotional.
My favorite is when they say, oh, you'll never believe the twist.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
Now I'm going to be only looking for a twist. This is how Caryn called The Sixth Sense in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
I didn't think I was right.
Either way, we were looking for the most crazy, absurd thing that could be true. And guess what? It was. It's like reading Harry Potter near my mom, and she would just cry. And she was faster than me. So, or, she'd come up and ask me, hey, have you read the part where they break into Gringotts yet? No. Thanks for asking. Anyway, I don't like spoilers. I also don't like surprises. So this would be why. I don't mind being surprised. I hate when somebody says, I have a surprise for you. And then you get nothing.
That's actually a pretty effective, I guess, horror tool, because you want to build up their sense of dread. Mm-hmm. And I think that might be what happens to you when people say, I have a surprise for you.
Yeah. Don't ever tell someone with anxiety, let's talk about this later, or I have something to tell you later, or I have a surprise for you in a week.
Yeah.
These are terrible things to say to somebody.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I'm going to put the cats out.
Yep. That's fair.
Okay. All right. Cats are out.
All right.
This is my life.
Okay. Full spoilers synopsis happening now. So... be prepared, people. We're ruining this movie for you. Ready, go.
Broke or made better.
Exactly.
Maybe we're making this movie for them?
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
some people love spoilers and love to know exactly what they're getting into.
Okay, that's true. That is absolutely true, because there is a book series that was made into a very famous